Hello, you are actually getting a video analysis because we are down enough replays. And yeah, let's see what happens here. Matchmaking wise, lots of cruisers, 2DDs for BBs. Everything's tier 10, nothing too special. Colbert is a bit tricky to play, I would say, because you can die very, very fast. But let's see what happens. So apparently you are trying to hide behind that island with B, which is okay. There was a Montana detected, okay. So your range is 16, that means you're running range mod, which is also a good idea on this ship, because you need the range. Yeah, you can actually start farming Montana. Bit unfortunate that you can't use all of your guns, but yeah. Holland in front. You can actually hit the Holland already. Okay, now he turned back, so yeah, no point at trying anymore. I'm just looking at the general situation at the moment. Yoshima in B seems to be actually alone because B cap is still ticking and I don't think anybody can contest. We see. Right, it was 2 DDs. So the DDs of the enemy on the outer caps. B is totally free, so it kinda comes down to your farming right now. You don't really have anybody who will spot you in anytime soon. I think you could actually do right now is pop your Hydro, because Haaland and the Napoli are very close to you. So even if you don't catch them, you will still spot their torpedoes. That would help your team a lot. Okay. The game so far is kinda passive. There's also not much point in you using A, to be honest. You could do that. You could totally kill the Haaland most likely. But the risk is too high because Montana and the Republic sit there in a way where they can potentially lob shells, and the Henry is pretty close too, so yeah, staying behind cover is still fine. You could, however, think about allocating yourself into A actually, and the reason for that is that you can still lob your shells from the small island on A, or the island group on A, over to the babies, while those guys can't really shoot back at you because of being unable to lob over the island. Haaland makes a big misplay now, so I hope you kill him. It should be like 3 cybers and he's dead. This one. Not the best one. Okay, man, that was pretty bad. Not gonna lie, you should have killed him right now. You have more than enough firepower, but you misaimed. I would also have just taken a blind shot again just to kill him off, because he was on, I think, 580 HP. That was like nothing. Okay, so B is contested. It's definitely not the Haaland, so 90% sure it's a Napoli right now. If you 1v1 a Napoli with a Colbert, I'm pretty sure you're gonna die. I think the Napoli can even overmatch you. I think it was like 250mm guns. So, not that optimal. However, you're still going in. So you're spotted for a brief moment. That was the Haaland. Now the Napoli knows you are there. Best thing to do right now is kind of rush Exactly, kinda rush towards the island and pop hydro so you spot him. Montana from your team, from 2 lines, should be able to shoot Napoli, same as Petro. I'm just not sure if they are busy with the BBs right now. Nisia is also very close. Napoli is going forward. I'm not sure if you are aware of that in this situation. Like I said, the problem is he will kill you. Okay, loading AP. I'm not 100% sure if you can penetrate him if you aim waterline. Okay, you aim upper deck. Fantastic. That's good. Yeah. One of the upsides of the big targets and of your high firing rate 127s is that you can just smash those guys in a couple of seconds. I think it was like 10 seconds for 16k. So yeah, fantastic. Good job, mate. Gonna swing around your ship now. You will lose B for a brief moment, but will contest it afterwards again. Funny thing now is that you can actually obliterate those guys, like hardcore. If the Satan goes to left, for example, you go for the right, you can just pincer them. Of course, Thunderstorm is kinda protecting you, and yeah. And I think here you make a big mistake. Of course, you're trying to farm those BBs, which is normally totally fine, but in this situation you could have a big impact move here. If you went around here on this island ledge, you can just murder the Haaland, and the Venezia most likely won't be even aware that you are coming around. So if you time it correctly, you can also heavily damage or even kill the Venezia in time. You can use the island behind that one as cover towards C. Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble if those guys aim at you, but honestly, you're still full HP and the game is already running for 8 minutes, so you might have to do a risky move here. And I honestly think that going here and farming the beast is a bad one. But I will go at speed again. It's like always, if you have the chance to finish off a low HP DD without all too much trade-off, which is the case here, go for it, please. Okay, going back to your view. Naturally, the Republic takes a lot of damage. It's also burning quite nicely. Damage count now. And there goes the Rebel. He's firing interestingly, and you didn't see it most likely. Go forward to the island ledge and kill the Republic. You have to be way more aggressive at the moment. I mean, it's fine that you use cover, yes, but you have no caps. And you have to do a move to make some pressure on the enemy team. And if you don't go for B, go for A, please. Use the islands on A, but kill the but get the ship and try to kill somebody in the progress. The problem is like the Montana is full HP, or 3/4, and you won't kill him in a short time. The same goes for Goliath. Killing a Goliath with a HE spammer is kinda difficult. Yeah, you took too long, honestly. You could have already sit in the cap. And another thing that I want to add here is that you don't use your Hydro. Yes! It is kind of special, because you knew the Helland is around there. You could have avoided that. If you look at the minimap right now, you can also see that your team is losing the game on C, not on A or not on B, because there are 2 ships on A, like the Goliath and the Montana. Montana's doing Montana stuff. I have no idea what he's doing. He's super passive. Goliath is kind of pushing in at the moment, yes. But on the right side, you're just gonna get smashed. Those guys are fucked. If anything, you should have tried to reinforce the right flank. Because the Petro and the Montana are honestly fine here. There's even a second Montana a bit further in the back. Yeah, now you're sitting here waiting for spotting. So the question would be, who's spotting for you now? Like, the only way you can spot the ships is if they're firing. The Montana on the left is pushing around now. Just checking. He's 3/4. Now down to 57. It's also kind of questionable in that situation, to be honest. Yeah. And if you look at the score at the moment, it's exactly what I said. Your right side is getting hammered. And honestly, at least in my honest opinion, a big part of the right side is getting hammered is that you didn't do the move in B, what I said at the start, or I said in the middle game. Because one of the ships is definitely Indonesia, because Indonesia was last spotted inside C. And I highly assume that Haaland topped A and went towards C afterwards to meet up with his fleet, so he's providing a lot of spotting. The Conqueror back there has basically no chance of survival, we're just gonna get farmed down. After he dies, the Montana is dead. After Montana is dead, the Salem is getting fucked in B because this Montana is going forwards to C position here. And then it's G, most likely. And this would have went up definitely if you actually had killed the ships in B earlier. Because there was no really there wasn't really any big trouble on A. There were two Bs, yes, and Goliath. But even if you haven't, or even if you had ignored Republic, your fleet would have still be fine in A. There was no real reason for you to wait there all the time. Yeah, and now you have to start open water farming. Oh, wait. That's the right speed, yes. Yeah, naturally 4 guys are looking at you because most likely now you are the only ship spotted. Conqueror died, like I said. Montana is most likely still out of the spotting range and only gets detected when actually shooting at the Moskva or the other Montana. There's the D. That you ignore. I'm not sure what you're trying right now. Are you trying to get unspotted here? Or? Yep. So now you are super far away from the action. There are 5 ships in B, and you are on H line. Completely pressed out of the game. And like I said, no chance for comeback anymore. You can't win this. Just gonna fast forward to the end, which is most likely happening in the next 10 seconds.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what could you have done differently? Honestly, I'm still convinced that you lost the game at B. If you had pushed into B, had you Salem, kill the Venezia, kill the Haaland, which you are totally capable of in that situation, you would have taken a lot of pressure out of the game just by killing Haaland alone, because that guy spotted most likely a lot. And Venezia that you didn't kill was on C later. Tried. I don't know if he kept, but he built up a lot of pressure on the enemy team as well. Like, you know that the Venezia volley is hurting cruisers and it is a lot. So it's a lot of damage you could have taken out of the game already. And at the same time, like I said, I think your guns or your ship weren't really needed at A. Those guys were actually pretty fine. The Petro kept itself. The BBs from the enemy team went very far out. Even if you hadn't shot at the Republic, you would have died with a 90% chance, at least from what I saw. And yeah, you decided to kind of still farm the Repu before taking any action. You didn't cap actually, you didn't cap B, you didn't cap A. Was a big misplay in my honest opinion. Yeah, I think that's all I can add here, to be honest. Yep, that's all.